I just completed the full first episode of Dispatch. When I made that video about Dispatch yesterday, I had only completed like the first 20 minutes or so because I was so excited to talk about it that I felt like I needed to talk about it ASAP. And after completing the first full episode, I love the game even more than I did when I first started playing it. This is an incredible game, and honestly, it looks like a passion project, like a work of art. I liked so many different things about it, but like I mentioned even yesterday, the characters are some of the best characters that I've played with this year. Honestly, the writing is phenomenal. The direction that these characters are going is really good, and the chemistry between our main character, Mecha Man, and the blonde blazer is off the charts in the first episode. Now, whatever ends up happening in episode 2, I don't know yet, but in that first episode, blonde blazer is a gorgeous looking character right off the bat, and her conversations with Mecha Man are so intriguing. Every time she pops up on the screen, I'm like, this is awesome. She's awesome. She looks great. And it's funny how a game can do that. It's funny how a game can create these characters that feel so realistic when they're not even, remotely real, because they have superpowers and they have all these other crazy things. But I really like that connection. And if the connection of the main characters is great, then the whole game flows even better for me. I'll take as an example Big B Wolf and Snow White. I really love the quiet moments that they shared during that game of The Wolf Among Us. I really felt that those were my favorite moments, the quiet moments, the moments where there wasn't much said and they just kind of looked at each other and you knew that something maybe is there. And with Dispatch, you have Mecha Man and Blonde Blazer just staring at each other sometimes, and there's like fucking fireworks behind them. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, it's a really cool feeling. And throughout the whole episode, it seemed, like Blonde Blazer was potentially flirting with Mecha Man. There might have been an instant love at first sight almost type of deal. And then you have Mecha Man kind of treading the water of whether he should or shouldn't say some stuff or how he should act around her. And obviously, as the player, you start feeling some of those same feelings and you start thinking like, am I reading really into this the correct way, or am I misreading this situation completely? And there's a lot of just character. There's a lot of spice. There's a lot of life to this game, and I'm trying to find the correct wording, but that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like it's a vibe. I'm feeling like it's something different. And honestly, this year has been wonderful for video games. It has been a really good year for gaming. One of the better years, in my opinion, in a long time. It reminds me a lot of 2018. Gaming was crazy that year, and it feels like it's been banger after banger after banger, and Dispatch is one that you should not miss. Again, it might go under the radar a little bit because not as high profile as something like Ghost of Yote or Death Stranding or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. But this is up there as one of the better games so far this year. And I know I'm only in episode 1, but I got a feeling it's only going to get better. And what kind of cements that is all the other superheroes that you're going to get to meet. I already met a few of them during this whole Dispatch thing. And like I mentioned earlier, it felt like maybe you were flirting or not with Blonde Blazer, but then you kind of misread a situation. I don't know if I really misread it, but she said that I misread it. I don't know. And then she tells you what she is there for. She's there to make you a part of the superhero dispatch team, where you're going to be mentoring some younger rookie superheroes, and you're going to be dispatching other experienced heroes to take care of what the city needs. And while you're doing that, they're going to help you out by giving you back your suit so you can help the city as well. So it's like a win-win type of situation for everybody involved. But the mini game of you actually doing the dispatch, I think that's what make or breaks this game for a lot of different people, because it takes you completely out of the cinematics that you're watching. It takes you out of the quick time events, and it puts you in this little computer where you're supposed to dispatch heroes that you think are best for the job. And when you're doing that, I thought maybe this could get potentially boring, or this could be a bad part of the game. This is where if the game doesn't sell me here, then I might not really like it at all. But it was fun. And that's it. It was just fun. And if it's fun, nothing else really matters. You start having to dispatch the heroes, and at first you might think it's super easy because you grab one hero and then you send them one way, and you grab another one and you send them one way. But then a bunch of different calls start coming, and you have to send a bunch of different heroes that need to match what that event is or what's going on. Then you have to review their work, and you have to send another one, and then you have to grab this one and move them over there, and then they call you because they need help, so you got to give them advice. It becomes hectic. It becomes crazy, and you have to work fast to be able to get to everybody. Now, obviously being like a police dispatcher or one of those types of jobs, I'm sure it's not very easy at all. I'm sure it's also very stressful, and there's a certain way of how you have to handle this situation with different civilians, different people that you're putting out there. And so I think, being a complete layman's in that field, that Dispatch did a wonderful job of making you feel that intensity, making you feel that, holy crap, there's a lot going on. I need to be quick. I need to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. And then if you don't get something right and it ends up going bad, you feel disappointment. You're like, shit, I should have sent somebody else. I should have done something else. But I think you'll only get better as you go. I thought that little mini game of being a dispatcher was really, really fun. And I got a feeling there's going to be a very important part of the game. So I'm definitely down for more of that. I'm actually excited to go on the next dispatch mission and kind of deal with everything. Again, it gets really hectic, but it has a really fun factor to it. And throughout the whole episode, this game made me feel like an old school video game. And I know that it's crazy because it's an episodic game, but the feelings of it, the way the voice actors were talking during the dispatch, the way the dispatch looked, it looked like an old school game. And it felt like just a really good old fashioned video game. And sometimes you miss that. Sometimes you forget that feeling because some of the games that are releasing now are like these big open RPG games or this very cinematic games that almost feel like you're in a very expensive film. But this feels like a down-to-earth, good video game where you're playing as superheroes and it's fun, it's comedic, it's vulgar, it's romantic, it's action-packed. I mean, they blew it out of the park with the first episode. The rest of the episodes are going to dictate how good this game is and how high its ceiling may be. I freaking love it so far, and I cannot wait to explore more of Mecha Man, more of Blonde Blazer, not in that way, but explore her mind and her connection more, and just kind of see where the story goes.